everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm going to show you the second in the series of 3 cards that I'm doing with a particular Stampin' Up! Bundle. But because I record things and then they get posted to YouTube, not necessarily in succession, because I might have a couple of other things that I slide in there. But if you found your way from that, the first video, then this is the next, and then I will have a 3rd card also with this bundle. But before I show you the card, it doesn't take very long at all, so I have a little bit more time to share a couple things with you. I want to remind you that celebration is ongoing. For every $50 or $100 you spend, you get to pick something from the celebration catalog. But then the very best deal is in the back. If I can find the back. If you join Stampin' Up! Right now, you can be part of my team. And I have a bunch of perks, and the one that most people like when they join my team is that you get all of my online classes, the video parts, for free. And then also my team members get my really super popular Try It class. You get the supplies for that one free as well. So as long as you're a member of my team, that's one of the perks. And there's lots of other perks as well. But if you join Stampin' Up! Right now, you can do it just because you want the discount for your products, or you can do it because you want to earn a little bit of money, or you can be like me and you want to do it full time. So I've done it all the ways because I've done it since 1995. So I've been at it a minute. I'm able to help you in whatever way that you need. So right now, if you join it, it's $99. You can see here, but you pick 125 of whatever you want from this catalog or the annual catalog, anything that is current. And you pick $125 worth of stuff. And then you just pay $99 plus tax. There isn't even shipping. But during celebration, if you see this little chart right here, and I also have it on my website, and it's been in my emails, but you get to pick one of these bundles out of this catalog for free as well. So it would be nice if there's one of my upcoming classes, or like this bundle. It's not one of them I'm showing you today, but I do have the bundles that are up for my upcoming retreat that will take place in the fall. So you could get one that will go along with that. So I wanted to remind you of that. Then the bundle I'm going to use is out of this mini catalog. So you can go back and watch the first video if you want. It's the Time of Giving, the stamp set, and what really sold me on it, and the reason we will be using it in my fall retreat, which is online, takes place in October, so signups will be in September. We're going to be doing lots with dies and specialty papers. So that will be the focus of this retreat. I always have, we don't just make cards, we always do it some kind of a technique during my retreats. We do 12 projects together, and there's various ways you can join, from getting the full entire thing that has all the stamps and all the dies and all the card stuff, all the way to just the videos. And then there's different groupings in between. But for this one, the technique will be specialty papers and dies. So you can see the other sets on my website if you go to my class page that I'll be using. But this is one of them. So you can wait and get it as part of the retreat, or you can get it now if you don't want to wait. This is the first card I did, and it also used a specialty paper. So I'm kind of showing you a little bit of what might be in store. We have so many fun specialty papers right now, and we have so many fabulous dies in this holiday catalog. So it's kind of how I pulled the different bundles that we'll be using. And you're free to just get the card supplies or just the videos, and then substitute things that you may already have as well. So when the information goes up, I'll give you a pretty in-depth feel of what I think I'm going to be using. So this one, we used the little Christmas die. And for both of these cards, this one and the one I'm getting ready to do, you can make it a card front like I did on this, or you can easily swap it to be just a tag, because obviously they make great tags. If you just did another layer of the buffalo check, which is, this is a free paper and this is a free paper, but if you did that behind there, then you'd have an adorable tag. And you could just wrap this one in craft or black paper, and it would be a super Christmas. So for this one, we're going to use a couple more specialty papers. So this is Cajun Craze, and then this is our pearlescent, pearl something. I'll put it down below. It was the focus of our last retreat, in the summer retreat, so you think I remember what it's called. I think it's called pearlescent. It's either pearlized or pearlescent, but for a while I was calling it the wrong thing. That's why I think it's pearlescent. So we're going to use this, and then another specialty paper that is super fabulous is our gold paper. I do want to show you, because some of you may already have this. This is in the annual catalog, and then this is the free one that's in the celebration. So if you thought, well, I already have this, I don't know that I necessarily need this, they're not even remotely the same paper. I mean, this is flat. It feels like, I mean, it looks like maybe glitter would come off, but nothing's gonna come off that. Again, it looks like something might come off of that. This one does have some texture to it, but not anything that falls off. This one, like it feels, you can feel it. So if you don't have either of them, I highly recommend them, but they're not the same paper. So don't think that if you've already got this, you don't need the celebration paper. So I'm going to use the basic tags again, just like I did on the first card. So if you didn't catch that, you can go back over and watch the Christmas one. So I'm going to put the gold paper on here, and then I'm going to put the basic tag, but on the other one, I used the square one. And when I'm done with this, I'll show you both of them again. So just lay that on here, and then just lay the little insert just down towards the bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to cut the window wherever you lay it. And then roll this through. I have camp this week. If you're in Indianapolis, I'm working on my peaceful cabins, and I still have 2 other classes. I have the online classes, the penguins, and then the cloches, before I even can start thinking retreat. But sometimes I just start thinking ahead. Sometimes I lay in bed at night and my mind just doesn't stop. I don't know if any of the rest of you are like that. So let's pop these out. Again, any of the specialty papers, sometimes you need to like separate them because it's got that texture on the top. So it's cut fine. It just needs to be pulled out. Guess I can sit down. And then you can see same for this. Now, if you took my Christmas class online earlier this year, you know, sometimes on that class, we intentionally left these in for one of the cards that we did. It wasn't pumpkins, obviously, and it wasn't even this set, but it was one of the things that we did. So you can see these are gonna just fall out. Let me take a second and I'll pop them out, and then I'll fast forward. Okay, so that just took a second. So you can see that those are all popped out. And then I'm gonna take my pearlescent paper and just stick it in the timber die or timber folder. So I've had a bunch of people recently ask if you have the old Big Shot, because there's so many of these great folders and people are buying them. So if you have the Big Shot, it's the exact same as when I use my cut emboss machine. So here's if you're using any of what we call our 3D folders, and that means they're super thick. So I'm gonna show you the sandwich that you need, and then I'm going to explain to you if you don't have this missing piece, what you can do. But you just need the platform. So this is just the big platform. If you have the very old Big Shot thing that has the hinge, move the hingey part out of the way. So you're going to put that on, and then you're just going to put your folder on. It always goes through crease first, and always with the Stampin' Up on top. And then this is one of the accessories. It did not come with our machine, and it doesn't come with Big Shot. If you have the old one that was a Big Shot one, it was blue. But this is, I think it's about $10. It's in the catalog. So this is the sandwich that you need. That's it. If you don't have this and you already have some of these and you're waiting to get this, I would just get it because it makes life a million times easier. And if you can't remember what it's for, then I would just take a Sharpie on here and write 3D folders, because nobody says it's yours. You can write on it. It's not a cutting surface, so don't put any of your dies on it. That's what it means by this is not a cutting surface. But you can just write folders on it, and then that way you'll know. You can even write fat folders or thick folders or whatever you like to call the 3D folders. Now, if you don't have this, you can use one of these, but you can see it's not as thick. This is a lot thicker than that. So what you have to do is put a few pieces of scrap cardstock down under here. And then if I was you, I would take some tape and tape it together once you realize how high a shim you need, because you can make it work with this. But over time, your shim falls apart. Some of the dies are just like the shim might not give exactly the way this one does, but this is all the sandwich that you need. Exactly the same if you still have a Big Shot. It doesn't change. But sometimes we call it the gray plate. And that's what we need by the gray plate. So you just need this. Now look how fabulous the pearlescent paper is when you send it through the timber. Isn't that so pretty? Super, super pretty. I was kind of going for, because we've got the pumpkins, I was kind of going for like the white pumpkin look. So I didn't really want it to be wood, but it can also be wood. But I love a white pumpkin. So we're going to do a couple of things on this. First, I'm going to stamp. Now, I didn't stamp on this first You could use Stays On if you want, but it takes a while for this paper to dry. So if I had stamped on here, I would have to either heat set it or sit here for about 20 minutes while it dried. So I'm just going to be super careful. And I'm also going to not care if my Thankful doesn't stamp perfectly. Because this is kind of a rustic card. I pulled this Thankful out of the Time of Giving stamp set, and then this is espresso ink. You do want to make sure if you're stamping on paper that has been embossed that you push hard, not so hard that you get edges. But you can see it kind of missed the line on the F, but you can tell it says Thankful. And obviously when you put the pumpkins there, you'll know it says Thankful. You could go back and take a bullet tip of your blend and fill in anything if you want. But I kind of like the rustic look. Everything doesn't have to be perfect, and I kind of like it like that. And I'm going to take our little tag, and I have 3 of our Stampin' blends. This is Dark Cajun Craze, and I'm going to color my pumpkins with Cajun Craze. Obviously, you want to have some scrap paper down underneath this. And these pumpkins kind of go onto the line, so I'm just going to draw a little bit down underneath so it captures the bottom of the pumpkin, even though there isn't like a line for it. Same here on the side. Got that. Then I have, I think it's the bronze. And I'm going to use the brush tip again because you don't need to put a lot on here, and just get the vines. You're holding those pumpkins together. And then I have light Mossy Meadow. And for a lot of these, it doesn't matter if you do light or dark. If you go with the light, you might just need a couple more coats than the dark. It's literally just the colors that I pulled off. And the first time I did this, I thought it was Old Olive. So you really just need one of our orange shades and one of our green shades. So that's all the coloring you need to do. And you can't see it as well on here. Once you put it on the white, then you see it really well. So now I'm going to take, and if you don't like this step, because I know sometimes some of you say, I wouldn't have done that, then don't do it. You don't have to do it. I don't like, especially because this is kind of outside pumpkin patch, I like it to be a little bit, not grungy. I just like to have the texture and the extra little bit of color. So I'm just going to smack some Cajun Craze on here. But if you don't want this, then don't. If it was a wedding card, I probably wouldn't, because then I might want it to look nice and clean. But this is not a wedding card. It is a fall card. Get some Mossy Meadow up there. It also helps, and girls who come to my live classes, they love doing this, and we all love hitting the blends. It's a great way to take out some frustrations if you're frustrated with anybody. So there's that. Now the blends will dry on here super fast because it's an alcohol ink. This, I'm just going to set it aside. And then let's fold our Cajun Craze in half. This card's almost finished. And then I'm going to use the same ribbon. So let's get this other card over here. This one had a different specialty paper, but I'm going to pull the same ribbon. So this is the Gold Shimmer ribbon. That's part of the Blackberry Suite. You just need a little bit. You don't want the ribbon on this to overwhelm the rest of your card. And pull this on here. So it's exact same tag, but it's a different shape. See, this one has the angled edges, and this has more of the scallopy. They're from the same basic tags assortment that are in the annual catalog. And if you don't like to tie bows, this is the card for you, because you don't even have to tie a full knot. We're just going to go once. So it holds it going up and down. And then just trim it off a little bit. Just like that. Get this over here. I'm going to go ahead and stick this on so I remember not to touch my Thankful. It also dries a little bit quicker if you are somewhere where it's cold and you have your heat on, and not in the Midwest right now where it's nice and muggy. All of the muggy makes everything that we do take a little bit longer to dry. I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm going to add 3. You don't need one down there in the corner. As long as you have 3, it will keep it raised up. I like these raised up because it adds to the little window effect behind the pumpkins. stick this on right here. And then I did want to show you, when I first did these, I just had some scraps and I didn't even know if it would work. So I did consider doing the pink because, you know, pink pumpkins are a thing right now. And this is the other color that comes in with this paper. So you can see you can color the pink as well. And it shows up just as nicely. But then when it was all said and done, I wanted to use the gold, and I just liked the more traditional gold color. Then for this one, I had holiday rhinestones and then the new holly leaves that are in the catalog. But for this one, I went back to the annual catalog and got the Genial Gems. And they look really pretty with this because this green right here, I'm going to get one that has lots of gold, kind of picks up the green that's in the leaves. And then I added, so that's one big green one and then two of the little gold ones. And they have like green and gold speckles in them. So it just matches really nicely. I did the opposite. On the other one, I do two greens and a clear. So super easy. Could it be any easier? So if you're interested in joining me for the online retreat where we'll be doing dies, I mean, obviously there will be stamping as well, but dies and specialty paper, then just make sure you're on my email list. And as it gets a little closer, we're actually on vacation the first week of September. So I'm not sure if I'll open the registration up right before we go or right when we get home, but it'll be early September when that opens. Or you could just join my team now and then all of that will be free. So everybody have a great day. And I do have one more card with this time of giving bundle that I'm going to do. So if it doesn't post right after this, it will be all within this little time frame. Have a great one. Bye.